Okay, we're rolling.
Okay.
Well, first off, thank you so much for coming over. I really appreciate it. I know we uh we went away for spring break too. We went back to Boston and it was awesome. We had a great time. I got to see my family and some friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. Did you guys go somewhere or?
Yeah, we went to Florida like
Okay.
everyone else in Iowa,
Yeah.
apparently. It was a little chilly the
Okay.
first couple days, so we
Yeah.
actually went mini golfing on Tuesday. And as we were walking through the parking lot of the mini golf place, we saw at least two Iowa Scott County license
Oh,
plates
wow.
there. So,
So people
and
drove.
I mean everyone from Iowa and from here apparently went to Fort Walton Beach, but yeah,
Fort
it's
Walton, is
beautiful.
that the Gulf Coast on the West Coast? Is that?
It's the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like Destin.
Destin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
love Destin. So we've been going for the last 4 years to just east of Destin, Miramar Beach.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
there's like a Hilton that has an amazing pool right on the beach. It's
Yeah.
been awesome. So I love that area. It's a pretty
Yeah.
cool place.
Yeah. It was so lovely.
Did you
Very
guys drive or
beautiful.
fly?
We flew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thankfully travel went really,
Yeah.
it's like a blizzard when we were
Yeah.
leaving,
Yep.
and all that, and it went smoothly. So really,
Yeah,
really loved it.
we don't like to drive to Chicago and then fly,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it's like if you're going to Boston, it's impossible to get Moline to Boston. That's
Yeah.
like $800.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we did that this time, and we found another kind of like park at a hotel, and then they give you a shuttle, and
Yep.
it's pretty reasonable. It was a Hilton hotel
Yep.
off, just like I don't know if you call it was like east of the airport, but
Yep.
anyway,
That's exactly what we did. Park at a
yeah,
hotel and
yeah,
get us a shuttle, and yeah,
yeah,
it worked just fine. But I'm a
yeah.
terrible flyer, so if I
Really.
can have a direct
Oh
flight,
yeah,
I
that's
want
yeah.
that.
So
I
we
want that a
also
lot.
yeah we also love Allegiant and we fly Allegiant whenever we can. But
Hmm.
there are now less and less direct options. Like from
Yeah,
Peoria, we used
yeah.
to go to Nashville a lot,
Hmm.
and then the flights that go to like all those other like secondary airports in Florida.
Hmm.
You know, like the direct flights are just good to have. I mean,
Yeah.
no, no. If there's our flight did get to like 3 hours, but
Hmm.
not a big deal when you're in Chicago. There's a million options.
Absolutely.
So I think where a good place to start is I think that let's get it right out there as far as what's next on the calendar for you guys. I've been seeing it on social media about the Run Festival,
Yeah.
and my personal experience with that was I don't know if it was the first year or the second year, but I did the half marathon when it was at the Betplex.
Yeah.
I don't
Great.
remember what year it was though.
Yeah. So this is our second year at the Rust Belt.
Yeah,
So it must have been a couple years ago
yeah,
that you were doing that one. So
yeah,
yeah, it's been at TBK initially, and then we moved it to the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt just has a really nice the outdoor area to hang out,
yeah.
and we're gonna have a rock band there. So we're going for a real festival type of vibe. So there's gonna be a really awesome band playing for people to relax and enjoy that space once they're done. Everyone's gonna get Cookies and Dreams cookie, and I love Steph. She is amazing. She's the owner of that awesome company, and she always makes a blueberry coffee cake cookie. So you can only get it when you sign up and do the race. My kids have always enjoyed picking up the cookies because we fill up the back of my van with like 300 white boxes, and they're like sitting amongst the boxes in the back. It's pretty fun. So yep, that's Memorial Day morning. We're gonna have a half marathon and a 5K and a free kids race, and then we'll have food and the band afterwards. It's gonna be great.
So I remember the course when it was at Betplex. I could imagine it was probably like a little clunky with the half. It was just it seemed like we
Hmm.
were doing like circles and loops and backtracks. So this new course I haven't run.
Yeah, so it's point
It's
to
pretty
point
okay.
actually. So that's
Ah,
also kind of unique
okay.
and fun. So yeah, that's something awesome about it. You can sign up for a bus pass as part of your registration, or you can have a friend drop you off, and then all everything will end at the
That
Rust
ends at
Belt.
the Rust Belt. So
Yep.
where's the drop? Where's the start?
I believe I'd have to have my race director Steve tell me for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to say something wrong, but
But is it
13.1
around the
miles
river,
away.
along the river, or
Yeah,
okay,
basically,
okay.
yeah.
And does it start east of there or west of there?
It's gonna start, I believe, east of there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you end up over there.
Mm-hmm.
So two things. One, it's dangerous because where we live, Cookies and Dreams is
Oh my
a
gosh.
mile and a half away,
So yummy.
and we have e-bikes, and we like
Yeah.
to go there in the summertime. And there's always a box on the counter, which
Yeah.
it's deadly. Those
Yeah.
things are
They're
like,
so good.
and I hate to say it, but I am like a OG.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
my
chocolate
thing.
chip cookie,
Yeah,
and she put salt
that's
on
it.
it. I
Yep.
agree. So
When
yummy.
they're cooked perfect like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. There's nothing better.
Have you seen, totally sidetracked, but
Yeah.
have you seen there's a couple of guys have done this online where they'll say, and it's a competitor cookie, but they'll say,
Mm.
how many miles do I have to run to eat these four cookies? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure they're the same calorie wise as the
Mm-hmm.
Cookies and Dreams ones.
Mm-hmm.
One guy had to run 18 and a half
Oh
miles.
yeah. I believe it. I
Yeah,
believe
not to
it.
scare anyone away from the Cookies and Dreams
No.
because they're
That's why you do it.
delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need fuel.
that's right.
You
That's
need the
right.
calories. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of fuel, the last time I talked to your husband,
Uh-huh.
he had mentioned that he had or was trying these gels that are carbs
Mm-hmm.
and they're like 50 grams
Yeah.
per packet.
Yeah.
So I went and of course I had to buy two boxes of them. So I have a box left and I've been using them and I think there's this guy David Roach. I don't know if you know David Roach. He's this crazy runner. He's an ultra
Mm-hmm.
runner and he won Leadville 2 years in a row. He broke the record twice at
Wow.
Leadville in the 100. And he swears by for him 100 grams per of carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot. Like
That's
I
a
do
lot.
one of these an hour just because of my stomach. I can't do a lot of the like gels and goos.
Yeah.
I used to, but I'm more into like, okay, I have these Go Macro bars and
Mm-hmm.
like real food like rice and
Mm-hmm.
potatoes and stuff like that. And I'm talking like running for 5 hours or more,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
stuff like
It's a
that.
long time.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I looked you up on Ultra Sign Up. Because I didn't know, like, I don't know you're running. I don't know
Yeah.
your
No,
weight,
I am
how you got.
incognito. No
Okay.
one knows about me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
So I think it would be cool to start with, like, leading up to, okay, now you're a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
successful here in the Quad Cities. You guys took on the Des Moines location, and you have three girls, and I mean, it must be two runners, I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
So managing your time must be tricky. And so
Yeah.
that's why I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah,
And we'll
absolutely.
go as long as you can last, but an hour would be great.
Yeah, no, it'd be great.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Ames, Iowa,
Okay.
so central Iowa. My
Okay.
parents still live there. So, and then I have a sister in Ankeny, and then my other sister lives in the like outside of the Twin Cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet? Like, I
Phil
mean,
and
you grew
I.
up, yeah, so like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, back up.
Yep.
Totally forget that question. When you were growing up, were you always a runner? Did you play sports in high school?
Yeah.
What sports?
Well, I transitioned into running, I guess, exclusively in high school. I did soccer growing up, and I loved it because I you got to kick people in the shins and like shove them over and
Yeah.
run really fast. So
Yeah.
I love that. I've always been very competitive. My my dad always jokes I'm like the son he never had because I love watching sports with him and football, and he's a big wrestling fan, so I'd watch wrestling with him, basketball, a big Hawkeye fan because he was a Hawkeye fan, is a Hawkeye fan. And my other sisters didn't really care about that. So I've always been competitive. So I love soccer because that was like a competitive, aggressive type of sport. And then my oldest sister went out for cross country her senior year in high school. So we were at a meet, and the Coach Schmaltz, like yelled at me and was like, "Are you coming out for cross country next fall? You better!" And I was like, "Oh." And so I somehow that sparked an interest. So I did go out for cross country my freshman year that next year, and I had a great time.
That's awesome.
I just really appreciated the he was he cared about everyone doing well. He cared about everyone on the team. It was, I mean, probably 80 girls.
Wow.
And
Gee.
so it was a lot of kids, and I made
Yeah.
some really good friends that way, just from running and
Yeah.
talking about your day after school. And that really kind of set a really great groundwork for meeting good meeting good people, doing something healthy.
Mhm.
So then I went out for track, and that was fun. I was successful. So then I just did track and cross country all 4 years in high school, and then I just ran on my own casually for fun in college and kept going, I guess.
So a couple of things. One, you said that you grew up in Ames,
Yeah.
and you said your dad was a Hawkeye fan.
Yeah.
And I moved here from Boston, and I found out pretty quick that you better like the Hawkeyes.
That's
But what about Iowa State being in Ames? I don't know.
yeah.
What did your parents do that for work?
Yeah, so my dad was he was a dentist. He's retired now. So he
Okay.
went to dental school at Iowa, so that's why
Okay.
he was a Hawkeye fan. And yes, we got so much crap for being Hawkeye fans. And my 4 years in high school were the 4 years where ISU football beat Iowa football four
Uh,
years in a row. And
uh-oh.
I got so
Yeah.
much grief for that. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of heat for that in my childhood. But I'm still a dedicated Hawkeye fan. I do like the Cyclones because, yeah, you
Yeah.
want, there's nothing wrong with them.
No.
It's from the
And
town.
it's Iowa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You
Right.
want them to do well.
Yeah.
I don't have any bad blood when they're not playing the Hawkeyes, but when they're playing the Hawkeyes, always want the Hawks to win.
Right.
So definitely.
Yeah, and there's been some games because I came here in 2011. I think it was either
Mhm.
2012. It was at Kinnick, and it was like 9-6, and the Hawkeyes
Oh, yeah.
lost. And I just remember that game and
Oh,
being
yeah.
like, I didn't care, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people did.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
So you basically got peer pressured into running cross country then.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes, I did. When I was doing soccer, my soccer coaches would always say, "I know I'm going to see you on the newspaper
Oh,
someday, like
really?
Jackie's streaking down the sidelines," because I definitely enjoyed running fast. I
Mm-hmm.
loved playing tag in the neighborhood. I remember doing the mile fitness test,
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
was part of
Oh, yeah.
PE in elementary
Yep.
school, and I always wanted to be the first girl
Yeah.
in my grade, and I usually was, and
Yeah.
it was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And I remember passing boys in that race, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" And
Yeah.
I was like, I feel so proud of myself
Yeah.
that I can do this. So I kind of connected with running even in elementary school on some level.
That's awesome. I have a quick story.
Yeah.
I was back in Boston for spring break, and we stay at this same hotel when we stay near my dad's house, and I have two brothers that still live out there with their family too. And it's in Peabody, Mass, and it's the Marriott. But anyway, I was running when I was out there, and I ran by my old middle school. It was the
Mhm.
Higgins Middle School, and I posted a video about this on social media. But
Mhm.
I remember I went out in seventh grade, and I don't even know why. Like I think it was my little league coach was the track coach,
Mhm.
and it was cross country or it was track. What I don't even remember what it was, but it was, hey, after school we're having practice, show up. So I
Mhm.
did the first day, and they made us run this. It was just basically like on the sidewalk up around the school, and there was
Mhm.
this big hill that you had to run up. And I did it that first day, and I quit.
No.
I quit that day.
Yeah.
And so when I went back, I ran the hill that I quit on,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, all right, this is where I quit
Yeah.
track
Yeah.
back in seventh grade, and then never ran again until I was like 25.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
rough.
yeah.
Running is hard. I get it though. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, and let's keep along the lines of running because that's
Mhm.
kind of like the business you're in, other than,
Yeah.
running and walking and, just getting outside and doing something physical.
Mhm.
And there's so many new studies on like research that will the brain physical connection with mental health and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gone along with social media. It's promoted more runners than ever.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
remember when I grew up in Boston, the Boston Marathon was a big deal. So a lot of people
Mhm.
ran, but it was in the 70s and 80s, and it wasn't like it is today.
Yeah.
Like today, I feel like it's pretty cool that how many runners are even here in the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
a really cool thing.
Mhm.
So you go graduate high school and then you go to Iowa, is that right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And what was your plan there?
I didn't have one.
Well, I don't know if many people I didn't. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think that, I mean, yeah, I felt like I was in the majority who didn't have a plan,
Yeah.
but no, I graduated with a communications major.
Okay.
So that was really interesting, but yeah, I didn't really um have a clear cut, like, this is the career that I'm gonna do. And so yeah, once I graduated, Phil and I got married right after that. And so
Hmm.
yeah, it was just like, okay, we're on our own. We have
Yeah.
to find jobs. And
Right.
so worked at a variety of places. The place I worked at, I think that did make a big impact was it's called Great America Financial,
Oh,
and it's in
yeah.
Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
Um, it's they lease their finance company and they're leasing office equipment. And so I learned a lot. I mean, just even about finance and contracts and things, which was interesting, but really their culture. They did a great job of sticking to their core values, to their culture,
Hmm.
to celebrating their employees. So I enjoyed that. And so I learned a lot from that. Has, nothing to do with running, but I do think I took a lot from
Yeah.
that about, like, yeah, talking about your core values, talking about what's important to your business, and actually, like, consistently executing on those things to make it clear to your employees. I think they did a great job with that. So yeah, I think that was a
And
meaningful thing.
it was, you said communications.
Yes.
So so during college, is that where you met your husband? And
Yeah,
because wasn't didn't he have a degree in,
he
he was like a
did.
writing and then
Yeah, he started with like pre-journalism,
yeah,
and then kind of similar to you, where you ran up that one hill the one
yeah,
time, then you quit.
yeah,
He took one class
yeah,
of journalism and then
yeah,
quit and
right.
was like, I hate this.
Yeah,
So then his minor of religious studies became a major, and so
that's
he
right.
graduated with a religious
That's right.
studies major. Yeah. Hmm.
I was at breakfast this morning with Kyle Dietz, and
Oh
Kyle works
yeah.
at Active.
Yeah.
And I was telling the story about how we were going to do the podcast. And I
Hmm.
said, what's funny about Phil was, I'm like, if you look at it, I told the story about how he went to Iowa and he got to go run with the track team that one day. And then
Hmm.
he came back the next day and the coach was like, oh no, that was
Right.
it. And I thought to myself, that's like the best story in the world, because now he's like one of the fastest 100-mile runners ever.
Yeah.
That's insane. I keep thinking about it and I'm just like, I saw what he did after he told me he was going to try to do this. And I was like, I just can't even comprehend it. It's unbelievable.
It's a long time to run.
Yeah. Well, not
Yeah.
a long time to run. It's a fast.
And fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. So then you guys meet. He told me that's right. You got married early, and you're now
Hmm.
working there.
Hmm.
And so then, like, I think he was working at Shields,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then I think you guys started a family pretty quick too,
Hmm.
and kind of stumbled into this whole thing. But I want to talk more about not just the store, but like your running career too,
Hmm.
as far as those 50Ks that you've done, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't
Like I
know.
said,
And so
I'm
so what I wrote
incognito.
down, I wrote down, like, here's the thing. I told this story before too, but would you rather win a race, like come in first in a half marathon or a 50K,
Mm.
or run a personal best time?
Personal best.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if your personal best, what you came in second?
Yeah. That, and
Yeah.
I came in second because the winner was like, super
Ridiculous.
fast and
Yeah.
like a 21-year-old, and I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like crushed it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And I was
No,
like, I was feeling
that makes
so
sense.
good.
Yeah.
And I hate running in the heat. I'm a
Yeah.
poor heat runner.
Me
And so
too.
this was the second year in a row that the 50K was 80 degrees or
Yeah.
above, even into the evening. And so I was like, oh man, here we go again. This is gonna suck.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe how good I felt. I
Yeah.
kind of was like, shoot, I should have ran faster. Like
If it was
I
cooler out.
felt, I
Yeah.
just couldn't believe how good I felt. It does, everyone knows who does races, you just don't
Yeah, I have
always
no
feel
idea.
that way. You just
Right.
don't know how it's gonna go until you start running. But yeah, I had a great personal best and I was just really happy with
Mm.
that. So yeah,
And
I didn't mind that I didn't win, because I was like, that I'm not really here to win. I mean, if I could win, that would be amazing,
yeah.
but I'm just so thrilled because it was a significant personal best. And
Yeah.
so I was just really thrilled with that.
No, that's a good angle on it. I get
Hmm.
it. I was just thinking, like, I won a 5K one time and my time wasn't my best ever.
Yeah.
And I have another friend, he won a half marathon recently, but it wasn't his best time. And I'm like, well, you won.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you would have gone faster, but you won.
Yeah.
Um, So isn't that the one, the 50K, is it start at night or it
It
starts
is.
like at
Yeah, it
night and
starts
then,
at 5 o'clock at night. It's the
yeah,
Hennepin
that's another
50K. Yeah, it's
reason
super
why I
fun.
don't do it.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I did.
loved running. It's like you're running at night in the middle of
Yeah,
nowhere by yourself. I think that's so fun.
I know, but the stress during the day leading up to it must have been
Yeah.
tough.
It is hard because I usually run at the crack of dawn.
Same.
And so it is weird that I enjoy a race that's completely out of my routine, which is
Yeah,
running at night. So yes, I have to plan,
training
what, yeah,
wise.
like what
Yeah,
am I gonna eat and when is
yeah,
the
yeah,
last time I'm gonna eat? I don't usually like having to do that, but I
yeah.
do it for that race.
Yeah, we did a lot of that night running when we were training for a long run. We would start, one time we started at like 9 p.m. and ran till like 6 in the morning,
Oh,
just to get through the night.
yeah,
Um,
that's wild.
yeah. So, the the racing, I'll say, I know you guys have the Fleet Feet Run Club,
Mhm.
and I follow that on social media and all that, but I don't know. I think it's just the times of when those you guys run. It just didn't line up for me. But tell me about that, like what it is and how people can join. And I think I asked Phil this the last time, but I don't think you have to really be a super, like that's the thing I think people get scared of. They're always like, we're talking about you running a 4 hour or 40, 30, whatever
Mhm.
minute 50K. That's
Mhm.
fast.
Mhm.
But I also feel like the same thing with the little group that we run with. People think we're running like 5 minute miles, and it's just not happening.
Right.
And when you run with the group, it's so diverse.
Hmm.
There's always going to be somebody, right?
Absolutely.
So tell me about the run club and how people would be able to go and find it if they're not in one, and
Yeah.
to be like, hey, it's not intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I that is something that's super important to Phil and I and to our
Yeah.
staff is that like running, walking is for everyone. It is. And the majority of the people out there are like they're not elite runners, and that's what I love about running is it's accessible. Running,
Yeah.
walking, like anyone can go out there and do it. So yeah, for our run club, we actually made some really big changes at the first
Okay.
of the year. So it's completely free. So I think maybe previously when Phil was on here, there was like a paid aspect. There is still a more personalized
Yep.
coaching aspect to it. But it's completely free. So we have a Facebook group called Fleet Feet Run Club. So you would just need to find us on there and like ask to be approved to join the group. Chris Schwartz, he's a professor at St. Ambrose, but
Hmm.
he is also an amazing coach and very methodical and very thorough. So he is programming that for us.
Hmm.
So it's Tuesday nights. They meet at Bettendorf High School in their gigantic parking lot. And he will program some sort of like
Hmm.
tempo run. And so you can do as much or as little of it as you would like. And then Wednesday nights, we're meeting at Great River for just like a
Yep.
social fun run. That's at 6:30. And then Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. at Mercado. So we're trying
Yeah.
to do something over across the river as well
Yeah.
for just like a fun longer run. And again, you can do 30 minutes, you can do 40 minutes, you can do 50 minutes, whatever. But Chris will be there greeting you and kind of explaining the route, but it's usually going to be along the river there.
Yeah.
But yeah, our main goal, well, and I should say, I do host a
Yep.
5:30 a.m. Monday morning run club or run meetup at Dunn Brothers on 53rd Street. For some people who, yeah,
Hmm.
want to do a Monday morning run. There's a 3 mile route, and then a 7 mile route that you can do there. Um, so yeah, I mean the main thing is we want to make running in a group or trying something new as accessible for anyone as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no requirement of like you need to be able to do a certain pace or a certain
Hmm.
distance. You can just come, bring a friend, do as much or as little as you want. And the hope is that it yeah lets people feel more comfortable to try it when there's other people around,
Yeah.
and probably hopefully they'll find someone that's around their pace. If you can't come on Tuesdays and you come once on Saturdays, that's great, or vice versa, as opposed to something if you pay for it, but then you get sick or
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be out of
You
town, and
feel
now
like,
now I don't have the
yeah.
value that I wanted to have with this. So you can pop in and join whenever you want.
So, a couple questions.
Mhm.
One, it's Chris?
Yeah,
Does
Chris
he
Schwartz.
post the workout before, Or is it like he just when you get there, or is it an expectation? Like, is the other thing is that is there are they training for the run festival? Is it the half marathon? Are they training for the Quad Cities? Or is it just come and it's a run club that
Right.
we're just doing like consistency stuff?
Yeah, so right now they are training like the stuff that he's programming on Tuesdays and Saturdays is building towards the running festival, so
Yep.
kind of like that half marathon.
Yeah.
But again, he'll scale it down. He'll tell you what the programming is. So if you wanted that more day-to-day programming, he'll email that to you. You
Okay.
pay for it, he'll email it to
Gotcha.
you. But the day of at the meetup, he'll explain what the workout is. Um, and he knows that well we have such a wide variety of people attending, so
Yep.
he has kind of different like cutoffs or like you
Hmm.
can do this many, you can do this many, you could do this intensity. So it yeah, you don't have to have any kind of goal race in mind. You can just go to be consistently moving your body, and then that can range all the way up to I know I'm doing the running festival and I know I want to train for it, and he can get you ready for that as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I tell you that my first experience with running was a solo runner, and I
Mhm.
would train by myself and I was using like Hal Higdon's online program and
Mhm.
I loved Hal's and I followed it for a long time. But then
Mhm.
I joined a group and I think that there's so many benefits to the group. And I think one that really sticks out for me is the accountability. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a big one
Mhm.
because once you commit to the group, and you start socializing and connecting with people, they kind of will hold you accountable. Like, hey,
Mhm.
not even in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, hey, why weren't you there?
We
Or
missed
like,
you.
missed
Yeah.
you. Why don't
Mhm.
you show up next week? And
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So I think
Absolutely.
there's a lot to be said with the group runs. And I feel
Mhm.
like I've made, a lot of improvements when I was running with a group versus like a solo. Now,
Yeah.
did I run and do my own thing too? Yes,
For sure.
100%.
Yep.
Because I was doing something specific. But with the
Mhm.
group, it's the accountability I feel like is a big benefit
Mhm.
and socializing.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Yeah.
cool.
There's a lot of great benefits. I agree. Like mentally, socially,
Hmm.
physically, it's just it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Let's talk about the mental thing for a second because
Mhm.
I just read a friend that I went to college with. His name's Ken Rideout, and he just wrote this book. And the either if it's therapy or it helps you alleviate some symptoms of depression or feeling alone, but like just physical moving around to me was like necessary.
Mhm.
And anyway, the book was amazing, and I'm reading right now Andy Glaze's book. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a
Sounds
big
good.
like he's run 100-mile weeks for it's I think it's like 6 years in a row, 100-mile weeks. Yeah, he just ran this race, a 300 miler. But anyway,
Wow.
I didn't know much about his background, but I'm reading his book and I'm just like, wow, this is like, okay, running can be a form of therapy
Mm.
for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And even walking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I'm grouchy if I don't like get a run
Oh
in.
yeah.
You know, I always
Yeah, I
I always
know.
take I always take Sundays off. And
Uh-huh.
that feels good to sleep in and rest, but like, man, yeah, if I it's it's crazy, you know? Yeah, sometimes when I run by myself and I let my brain wander and
Yeah.
either listen to a podcast or
Yeah.
just listen to music. And it's like when I'm done, if I was worried about something or if something's on my mind, I usually have like a different view of it, or
Yeah.
it's almost like dreaming. Like my brain is like working through it in the background while I'm running.
Hmm.
And then of course the social aspect of when I'm running with run buddies, and so you're sharing about,
Oh
oh my
yeah.
gosh, this crazy thing happened to me
Yeah.
today, and oh my gosh, this happened, and it's just so it's fun. It's fun to be invested in other people's lives and
Yeah.
hear what's going on with them, but it's also just really helpful to have that connection. But then, yeah, running by yourself, having the ability to kind of process thoughts and emotions that maybe you didn't know you had, and it's great. I find that really
Yeah.
valuable.
No, I absolutely. I mean, that's why I do it. I mean,
Hmm.
that's why a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Um, so as far as owning a business goes, and I
Hmm.
talked a lot about this with Phil, I can only imagine how going from managing like one store and having employees and customers and doing all the social stuff and the community now to having two and splitting that time between you guys and
Hmm.
then having your kids
Hmm.
and oh man. So walk me through like a typical, how are you guys balancing? Because like Phil's not, you didn't stop training, right? So that's another clunk of time.
Yeah.
So how is it going
Yeah.
with the
It's a
expansion?
great question. Yeah, so yeah, we just hit a year mark, I should say,
Yep.
in March. March 1st is when we purchased the Des Moines store, so we've had it a whole year now. It's been wonderful. I mean, obviously there's highs and lows with all of them. It's hard to learn how someone else ran their store,
Yeah.
so you're trying to figure out what are the expectations of the store, and then what do I want them to be,
Hmm.
and what things are worth keeping and what things do we want to change. But I think it's been great. I think the best part is getting to the very very slowly but surely get to know the customers over there,
Yeah.
and the staff. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
my umbrella is more managing the staff and hiring, training, following up on things, planning staff meetings, all that stuff. And then Phil does a lot of like the
Yep.
marketing and does help with buying and things like that. Um, so I really have enjoyed getting to know staff. It's funny, actually, before I came here, I was having a video call with one of my full timers in Des Moines, and she grew up in Boston
Oh,
and went to
really?
Boston College
Oh,
also.
really?
So yeah, I was like,
Huh.
oh man, that's interesting. So yeah, I think it's been great. It is a lot, and I still run really early in the morning. That is really helpful for me to know
Yeah.
that it's done, and nothing, no matter if the rest of the day goes the way I want it to or
Yeah.
not,
It's
that's
done.
already
Yeah.
finished, and I don't have to be, that's not weighing on me of like, gosh, I still have to get a run in. So that's how I handle that. But yeah, we have amazing employees. I mean, that's all that I can say is it's really easy to be the face of like, we're the owners, but like our full-time staff, our part-time staff in both locations, they do a great job. And
Yeah.
it's only because they are so amazing that we are able to continue to train, that we don't have to always be in the store like
Hmm.
8 hours a day, every
Yeah.
single day. Because they're smart, they're caring, they're intelligent. And then our job is to help advise them and
Yeah.
coach them and say, hey, in this situation, this is what I think is important, or these are the things I think you should consider when making these decisions. So yeah, it's a different mindset. Whereas with Davenport, we were in the store for a long time. And just well, I guess it was a year ago, I was not on the floor anymore because we had to focus on finalizing the purchase
Yeah.
of Des Moines and
Yep.
then focus on that. So that was a change for me to not be in the store 3 days a week, but so it's a different way to think about having businesses, instead of it's me or Phil, we're in the store and we're making all the decisions all the time. It's really turning into managing vendor relationships and managing
Mhm.
our employees and trying to give them what they need, and the guidance that they need. We're not perfect at it by any means, and I think we've grown a lot and definitely have a long way to go, I think, in understanding how to do it and how to help everybody the best that we can. But yeah, it's different than being in the shop every day for sure.
So you don't have to answer it, but so from like the Des Moines side,
Hmm.
of course there was the previous owners,
Hmm.
and now you come in, and let's just say I've worked in big companies, big corporations, where you get a new manager, and it's
Hmm.
like, well, I'm still with the company, but now I have a new manager. How in terms of like turnover, did you experience turnover with that store when you guys came in because you were different? And what's the like current, like how many employees stayed and left?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, that is super common, I think, yeah, to have when there's a new boss,
yeah.
and you're not sure if you like it or not. I'm really happy that the four full-timers that were there with us in the beginning, a year ago,
Yep.
they're still
Oh,
there.
wow. Okay, cool.
So I'm
That's
I'm
cool.
really happy about that. There were
Yeah.
some part-timers that, we definitely have different expectations,
Yeah.
and enforce those differently. And I think, that wasn't for everyone, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
So there were a couple part-timers where I think they left because they maybe didn't like the new expectations, which again is very normal. That's completely fine. But yeah, there's still a great staff there. We're actually hiring in Des Moines. If anyone wants to work there, let me know.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I'm really happy that the four full timers are there. And that's been, like I said, that's what's fun is we've gotten to know these four
Hmm.
like better and better as the months have gone on. And it's it feels good that we know each other better now, so it's even more comfortable, easier to communicate and like have like just see their opinion, see our opinion. Okay, where can we meet? It's harder when you don't know someone super well to
Yep.
be able to do that. And so the
Yeah.
more we get to know them, I think that we just become more comfortable. And so
Yeah.
that just makes it better.
So I'll go back to the beginning of the story when you talked about your job where you loved the people and the culture.
Hmm.
So what would you say that, how would you describe the Fleet Feet, your culture?
Mm.
And like I could see how, again, it's nothing against the people, but if you're working where within a culture that was different than this new culture,
Hmm.
how did you guys transition your culture into that? And
Yeah.
like what is your kind of core culture at
Yeah.
Fleet Feet?
Yeah. I mean, Fleet Feet in general has 9 core values, and we do
Okay.
really try and stick to those and try and talk about them a lot. I do think that something that is specific to Phil and I, um, that we want to be prevalent in both of our stores is um, being coachable. So knowing like, yeah, maybe I
Yeah.
could have done that better, or
Yeah.
yeah, what feedback do you have for me? I think
Yeah.
that's really important to us. And then also being like a problem solver. So instead of just being like, well, I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
like, well, but
Figure it
could,
out.
yeah, can like
Yeah.
how, here are
Yeah.
some questions you can ask
Yeah.
that would get you to that answer.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that is important to us as well. I say that actually to my children a lot as well. It's like, please be a problem solver. Or communicate to me what your needs are, instead of just
Yeah. No,
complaining, just saying like,
uh-huh.
I'm hot. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, so what do
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
want? Do you
Yeah.
want me to turn on the air conditioning? Do you
Yeah.
want me to roll down a window? Say what you
Yeah.
need.
Take your jacket
So
off. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean that kind of relates to the staff too. So I definitely think outside of the 9 core values, it would be being coachable
Yeah.
and then being a problem solver for sure.
I would say that those two specifically
Hmm.
can apply to any business, any company,
Yes,
anywhere.
yes.
And I feel like there are people that they think they're coachable,
Hmm.
but in the end, they're kind of not really. Because if they're
Hmm.
like, oh, yeah, I take direction well, okay, no offense, because I can be empathetic with you, but no, you're wrong or something like confrontation and all that kind of. But I think
Yeah.
setting expectations and, coming in and that if there are those 9 core values that Fleet Feet has you guys
Hmm.
implement and then you have your own specific ones. I feel like those two though, for sure. The problem solver one is I feel like I'm not sure you can teach somebody that though.
It is hard.
It's hard to
Yeah.
teach someone
Hmm.
to be independent, I'll say, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask you leading into this question of like you said you wake up and you get your run in early. And I'm assuming that's because your girls are now big enough to take care of themselves when they wake up and go to
Yeah.
school and get ready and all that
Well,
kind of stuff. Or is
yeah.
Phil there when you're like,
Yeah. I mean, so that, yeah, a long time. Yeah. My oldest is 14.
okay,
And my youngest is eight and a
all
half.
right,
And so, yeah, the reason I have that routine now, so it just feels normal to me now. I mean, I don't want to wake up early, but like I'm used to it and we
yeah,
do it, whatever. Um, because when the girls were so young, like, yeah, I had to be back to help. Like, we had to get
yeah,
them
yeah,
dressed, get them out the door for daycare because I had to go to work, all that good stuff by 8:30, by 9, so you got to get up
mm-hmm,
and get going. So that's, I mean, after years of doing that, it has become a habit. But yeah, I mean, our girls, they're great. And they know actually now on a Saturday, um, they don't even ask where we are. They
yeah,
know we're out running. And they just come downstairs and pour
yeah,
themselves a bowl of cereal
yeah,
and turn on the TV.
yeah,
And I knew I like was entering a new parenting era when like, okay, I don't have to be back by
oh
7
right,
a.m. on a
yeah,
Saturday. I don't
yeah,
have to.
because
It's
that weighs
nice.
on you, right?
It does. So
Yeah,
there, yeah. So like running felt even more like, oh my gosh, I have to get this
yeah,
done because I did. I needed to be back by this time because Phil was counting
yeah,
on me
yeah.
to be back so then he
He
could
could
go for
go,
the run
yeah,
because then I had,
yeah,
and so now there's definitely a little bit more flexibility. But yeah, during the week, I will be the one that's gone in the morning and I'll get back. I also do Orange Theory twice a week.
oh,
So I'll do
okay,
the 6:15 class. And so I get back at like 7:25, and then I'll take the girls to school. We have to leave at like 7:40. So yes, it's
Oh yeah.
great that he's there. He's getting them up and moving around so that when I come home, we just kind of load up and go. But then other days when it's just me running, I try and be back by 7:15. And because we do have, I've twice a week we've got meetings that start at 8. Then I'll have other meetings on the other days starting at like 9. And so if I need a shower and eat breakfast, like I gotta get back. I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
still need to get back and
Yeah.
have time to do that and still kind of help the kids get their bags packed and all that jazz. But it is nice that they're getting older and yeah, they can get themselves dressed, they can get themselves breakfast. So it makes it a little bit more smooth in the morning.
So speaking of that meeting at 8 and 9, what are the retail hours for both?
Yeah, so both stores, Monday through Friday is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then in Davenport, Saturday hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then 11 a.m. to 4 on Sunday. And then in Des Moines, it's on Saturday, it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday is noon to 5. So a little bit of a
Okay, a little
difference
different.
there. Yeah, a little different.
And then, how are you guys splitting up? Like who goes to Des Moines and who stays here? That must
We
be
alternate.
okay.
So typically we go every other week. So we'll have a week where one of us will go usually on a Tuesday and then come back on like a Thursday or a Friday. Then that next week we'll all be home together, and then the next week it's the other person. And we'll usually stay with my family,
Okay,
my
that's what I was gonna
parents.
ask you
They're so
is there a
gracious
place?
to have us. And
That's
sometimes
good.
we've gotten a hotel
Yeah.
or an Airbnb close by. It's kind of
Yeah.
we're trying to be smarter about money as we all are. And so staying with my folks is great. They're, yeah, like I said, so kind to let us stay. And so yeah, that's kind of how it is. It is tricky. I've missed choir concerts and band concerts, and
Yeah.
Phil's missed concerts and
Yeah.
things. I have two girls in the Creative Arts Academy at Sudlow, and so my 8th grader and 6th grader, those two do band, choir, and orchestra.
Oh
So
wow.
there's a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
I haven't been to them all.
Yeah.
So, but one of us has been to them.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's not like it's fun, but I
Yeah.
think also the girls know there's multiple concerts all
Yeah.
year
Yeah. Yeah.
round,
Yeah.
so it's not like it's the
Yeah.
only time to see them. And our girls have been really gracious about, just kind of going with the flow. And it's been fun though to bring them alongside the journey with Des Moines. And last year we got to take them to the Drake Relays. That was
Yeah.
the first time they were able to sit and watch, and it was amazing
Yeah.
weather outside, so it was so
That's pretty cool.
wonderful. So there's benefits to that. We miss concerts or we miss things from time to time, but then we do try and bring them with. And actually, we're getting ready for Drake in April as
Yeah.
well. Drake is they do road races, and Fleet Feet is sponsoring an aid station
Oh wow.
on the 18th, 17th, or 18th. I can't remember, whatever that Saturday is. And our girls were there
Yeah.
cheering, handing out water, ringing cowbells last year, and we plan on doing it again this year. So they definitely get to be a part of it on the weekends,
Yeah.
whether they like it or not. I think most of the time they're okay with it, but
Yeah. And did they run?
they do. Yeah, my oldest she started track a couple weeks ago, and the 6th grader, there's not sports through school until they're in 7th grade.
Okay. Yeah.
But she wants to do track and cross country. So yeah, my oldest has done track and cross country, and it's been fun to watch her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it means something different to her than it means to us, and that's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
totally great. But she's got, again, a good group of girls that do it, and I think it's just really sentimental to see her make friends through running, which is really what I love
Yeah.
about running. Well,
Yeah.
one of the things I love about running, but so yeah, she's doing that, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I have two girls. One is a senior at Iowa, and the
Nice.
other one's a freshman at Iowa.
Great.
And the senior, she did all that stuff you said that she was in the band and then
Mhm.
orchestra. And at PV, where she went, it was if you wanted to be in the band, like to play an instrument, you had to do marching band
Mhm.
as well,
Mhm.
which whatever, that was
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
And then, she played like the flute and the piccolo and
Nice.
whatever. But I got like one of the coolest texts the other day. First of all, she's 22 and she's a senior in
Mhm.
college. But as far as texting goes, I might not, I'll text her and I might not hear back from her for like 5 days. Right? Like, so that's the text. But I got a text from her, and this was leading into this question,
Yeah.
a long question. But she texted me and she said, and she played tennis. So she hated running
Mm.
when she got older, but she used to, I mean, she ran, I remember when she was like, a year old, like
Mhm.
walk race thing. And then because I ran, she
Mhm.
would come and do the kids things and all that. And
Mhm.
so did the younger one. And the younger one played soccer, so she was
Mhm.
always running. And anyway, I get a text from my oldest, and it says that, hey, can you recommend some running shoes? I'm thinking about me and my boyfriend are thinking about starting to run. And I was like, cool. And I was like, oh wow. Like I could have like coached them since they were little and they never would come to me and I wouldn't want to be their coach like
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
But I always was like, if you just listened to anything I say,
Just come on.
just listen. But anyway, I wouldn't step in and be that dad that was
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
so here's my question. My question
Mhm.
is this. So I talked to her and she's coming home Friday for an interview somewhere here in the Quad Cities. And I
Mhm.
said, look, I won't share the text, but I said that I recommend to anybody that ever asks me, I'm not going to tell you a shoe to buy
Mhm.
until you go and get fitted properly.
Mhm.
So my question is this. I told her when she's done with the interview, I said, we'll go to Fleet Feet here.
Mhm.
And so now take it from there in terms of what happens when someone comes into the store the
Mhm.
first time.
Mhm.
And like tomorrow when we walk in, her name's Trinity, what is Fleet Feet gonna do?
Yeah, great. So yeah, this is like the bread and butter of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we exist. Is we're gonna ask, hey, have you been in the store before? And
Mm-hmm.
then find out, okay, you haven't. Okay, I'd love to take you through our fit process. So everyone goes through a fit process. So that means we take a 3D image of your feet. We're gonna watch you walk a little bit, and then we're gonna sit down and ask you a few questions about what are you using the shoes for?
Mm-hmm.
What pain or injuries have you had? What shoes have you been using that do they feel good? So kind of what's been successful for you, what hasn't been successful for you, and then just kind of anything else, like anything else with your feet there and just body
Yeah.
health, all that you think would be good for us to know. And then we'll kind of analyze that 3D scan, kind of show you a lot of the things that we're seeing. We usually will educate on size, width, um, and then like arch height, like if
Mm-hmm.
an insole would be appropriate, and then heel width, talk about socks, like if you're running, you need some good technical socks. And then what we would do is use that data, all of that between the interview and what we're seeing on the scan to pull three different styles of shoes, based off of what the feedback was, what's
Mm-hmm.
available, bring out three different styles, and then help you into those shoes, and then keep asking questions
Yeah.
like, what feels good? Does this feel loose? Feel where the toe actually is, and kind of explain a little bit about this is why I think this shoe could be appropriate for you. And then you get to try all three, maybe do some comparisons, try them with an insole or not, and then kind of make the best choice, for you. The customer gets to make the best choice, but
Yeah.
we're bringing the best options that we think would be appropriate. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, there isn't just one shoe that will work for everyone, and that's
Yeah.
why we really try
Yes.
and have a variety. There's really firm shoes, there's really
Mm-hmm.
stiff shoes, there's
Yeah.
flexible shoes, there's really soft ones. They all give a different experience, and everyone's interpretation of comfort
Mm-hmm.
is different, and so it really helps to try them
Yeah.
on and try different stuff.
Yeah. No, you guys, I always say don't just go to Dick's and buy a pair of shoes because they
Mm-hmm.
look good.
Mm-hmm.
Always
Mm-hmm.
go and get fitted. And
Yeah.
the word fitted can mean a lot, right? It
Mm-hmm.
means the testing you guys do is amazing. I've done it with my youngest. She's done it. She's
Mm-hmm.
come over there and she's had some wonky like feet things going on through soccer. Like
Mm-hmm.
she has this she's had this injury now for it's like 2 years now with
Oh.
where like she kicked the ball like at the same time and her
Mm-hmm.
something happened and she literally just so I again I can't be right in anything that I suggest. And it was like
Sure.
2 years,
Of course.
MRIs, X-rays, the whole
Mhm.
9 yards. And I was like, look, I had a foot issue 3 years ago, and I went to a foot doctor, and then I ended up going to Bo Shea. Bo, I don't know if you know
Mm.
Bo. So he's like, look, there is this like tendon and it could be this inflamed. So he gave me a cortisone shot and knock on wood, thank God it
Oh,
went away.
great.
Like I thought
That's
I broke my
awesome.
foot, right? So
Right.
then it went
Yeah.
away. So I
Yeah.
said to Erin, is my youngest, I said, Erin, like maybe let's explore. And I get it. She was cautious because she said, I've heard so many bad things about people that get them when they're young. And the doctor
Mm-hmm.
was saying, don't get it because you're so young. And I'm like, well, you're 19. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if it's going to help and
Yeah.
alleviate the pain. So long story,
Yeah.
we went to Fleet Feet probably like maybe a year into this and
Mm-hmm.
got our foot scanned again. And then we got some inserts.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that kind of bugged me about what she was doing is she had like these, and no nothing, no offense to On Cloud, but she had like these On Clouds that are just like, kick around shoes
Yeah.
that she's doing all this stuff in. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
think that's the shoe for you, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because it
Mm-hmm.
looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you better be wearing those inserts because they're not cheap. Like,
Yeah, right?
and that, the guy, the kid that was there helped. It was awesome. It was a great
Mm-hmm.
experience, is what I'm getting at. And I think you guys
Good.
do a great job of welcoming people in and like feeling like, you can ask all kinds of questions and stuff like that. Not,
Right.
and I think not to be intimidated because it can be
Absolutely. Yeah.
intimidating
Mm-hmm.
for anyone, any
Mm-hmm.
age, to go
Mm-hmm.
in and be like, okay, I'm new. I want to start,
Right.
whether it's walking or running or whatever.
When I interview people, I that's one of the things I tell them is the majority of our customers would not identify as a
Yeah,
runner.
yeah. I
And
think runners
so
won't identify
yeah,
as a
like
runner.
they don't, or
Yeah,
people are like they're like, I'm sorry, I don't know if I
yeah,
should
yeah,
even be
yeah,
here.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, you
Yeah,
don't need to apologize,
right.
not at all.
Yeah,
But I want to let staff know, like, this is not, if you think you're just going to be fitting marathon
yeah, yeah,
runners
yeah,
to marathon runners, you're
yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's people who need shoes for work, people who are retired, people who are walking their dogs, people, yeah, who are recovering from injury. It's all of the, everyone needs proper fitting footwear
yeah,
because yeah, it makes an impact on everything that you're doing. So yeah, I'm glad that that
yeah.
was the experience. That's what
The other
we're
thing I'll
going
tell you
for.
is that it can change too.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was looking for some old pictures and I went into the archives and found some old pictures of me like finishing photos of like half marathons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one I did in like 2004. It was in Providence, Rhode Island. It was like the Providence half marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the picture and I was like, holy shit, I had on the Brooks Adrenalines.
Oh my
And I remember
gosh.
having
Yeah.
them like the first
Oh
model,
yeah.
right? And I wore
I wore
those
them in high
for
school.
10 years,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then in 2015, I started having some back problems and I found out I had lumbar scoliosis. And so it almost put me out of running completely because I started to think I was a triathlete. So I started getting on the bike and swimming, and it really messed up my back. Long story.
Oh.
So I started running in the Hoka's,
Mm.
max cushion.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, these are the best. And I still
Mm-hmm.
run in the Hoka Speed Goats for trail.
Nice.
But it it didn't my foot started doing some weird stuff
Mm-hmm.
because I got into like the max cushion was like too much. I needed more stability. So
Sure.
then
Yep.
I went back
Mm-hmm.
to the Adrenalines and
Yeah.
knock on wood,
Yeah.
thankfully on the road anyway.
Yeah.
They're my go-to shoe and they have been
Mm-hmm.
for 20 years.
That's
So
amazing.
what I'm getting at is like and you could it can change things over time,
Absolutely.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Going from like a minimalist shoe to a max cushion to a stability and there's so many different terms and shoes and their
Yep.
specialties and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you're right. And that's why it helps to even if you've been fit before, like if it's been a year or if you've had an injury or if you've gone like either anything with like your weight
yes,
fluctuating or life changes,
yeah,
it's really worth just let's rescan you.
yeah.
And the shoes update all the
That's what I
time.
was just
And
gonna
so
say.
they feel different. Like
Yeah,
the old version maybe feels
yep,
different than the new one. So maybe
yeah,
we need to find something else.
yeah,
And so yeah, it's really important to, yeah, you've had the Brooks Adrenaline, but
yeah,
yeah, the Brooks Adrenaline from 20 years ago
yeah.
was
It's not the same shoe.
so different than
Yeah,
the Brooks
even
Adrenaline now. And so
yeah,
you can't rely on that all the
being the
time.
same.
You have to be open to like trying new things. That's
Yep.
what's crazy about this industry it's great. They're trying new things, they're being innovative. But then not a lot is consistent with how the shoe feels all the time. So yeah, you just got to be open to yeah, seeing
Yeah.
if there's something else that's better for you.
And then I guess I'll ask a question. Like I feel like if you drive a Ford or if you drive a Chevy, I feel like there is brand loyalty in shoes
Mm-hmm.
as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you
100%.
have people that know I don't care if I need a max cushion shoe or not, it's gonna or stability, but I'm gonna be a Brooks or I'm gonna be Hoka or I'm gonna be
Mhm.
Asics or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I feel like that's probably consistent
Yeah.
with people,
Absolutely.
and I get it. That's actually a good thing, right?
Yeah. I
But you
mean,
mentioned the technology in the shoes is changing all the time. I just saw a video this morning. I thought at one point I was like, because they were on sale, I
mhm.
bought these New Balance Fuel Cell V3s with a
Mhm.
carbon plate.
Oh.
And I was like, well, let me try them. So I bought three pair, right?
Mhm. As one does.
Right.
You get
You
all
know,
three.
because they were on sale.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I just saw a thing where this woman was talking about the carbon plate and how, the super shoe now is like the
Mhm.
thing, right? And I
Mhm.
swear, I think it was 2 years ago at the marathon, me and Andy Besser were like crewing for Kurt Johnston and
Mhm.
Austin Chesney. And we were on our e-bikes, me and Andy. And I'm not kidding. I would say the top 20 people were all in those super
Oh
shoes.
yeah. Mhm.
And you just could hear them coming.
Oh yeah. They're
You
so
know,
loud.
you can hear them coming.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that this woman was talking about how if you're not used to this piece of metal that you're running on,
Mhm.
it can mess up
Oh
all the
yeah.
mechanics of your ankle, your knee,
For
your
sure.
hip, and all that. So
Mhm.
needless to say, I ran in them and now I don't.
Did you run in
But I'll tell
all
you,
three or just the one?
I went through them all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I had
Yeah.
to go through the wear on all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was hurting my feet and I
Yeah.
was hurting my running like a little bit.
I
But
do
I
not
mean, I felt fast.
I do not use a plated shoe
No, okay.
hardly at all. I ran some like shorter races in them,
Mm-hmm.
but it's never the top one. It's usually like the middle one with a plastic plate
Oh
or
yeah,
some. I because yeah, I'm just like I just want a personal best for me,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
but I mean
yeah,
it is a very cool tool that
yeah,
people have
yeah, yeah,
everyone has access to, but I'm a little worried about messing up all my biomechanics or something because I have luckily been fairly injury
yeah.
free for, I mean,
That's good.
25 years of running and
Yeah,
I don't want to mess it up.
yeah,
But yeah, if you train in it or if you're used to it, like it's not so scary. But yeah, you do want to try and
yeah,
introduce that type of shoe just slowly yet surely, I think,
yeah.
into the routine.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Mhm.
look at the history of like shoe technology of what they used to run into today, it's like night and day,
Oh
like
yeah.
from a waffle plastic or rubber sole
Yeah.
to super shoes. And they're
Yeah.
super expensive.
Yes. Yeah.
I
I
can't even
mean,
believe
yeah.
how much these shoes are.
It's nuts. I do wonder when are we gonna it's hard, we've had conversations with Brand, Brand will be
Yeah,
like, everyone get on the call. We have to talk about tariffs and prices
yeah,
and that's unfortunate. There's
yeah,
a lot of things that they can't control, we can't control. And so that's too bad. I do wonder what's the
well,
tolerance level for the market? How much longer can that keep happening?
yeah,
I don't know. I am curious to see
yeah.
what happens with prices in general in
Yeah,
the
it
run
seems,
industry.
and I feel like because I've been running for a long time, it kind of crept up from like $80 to
Mm.
$100 to
Mm-hmm.
125 to
Mm-hmm.
150 to 175, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a second,
Mm-hmm.
how
I
in the
know.
world?
I know.
And I talked a little bit about this with Phil, but I thought like we were joking kind of, and I was like, how can a size 12 be the same price as a size 5?
Right? That's a lot more
Wait a second.
material.
How is that priced?
It's funny. We have, Phil wears a size 14. He has
Yeah.
gigantic, massive feet.
Yeah.
So we have one of his old shoe boxes. It's a Kayano, an A6
Wow.
Kayano from college.
Yeah.
As like where we keep some Christmas ornaments in it because
Okay.
it's so
Yeah.
big.
So big.
Yeah, so like it's in the storage room. We get it out every year with our ornaments, and
Yeah.
it has a price sticker on it.
Oh yeah.
The Kayano back in college in 2006 or something was like $120.
Yeah.
Now it's 160,
Yeah.
170.
It's
So
wow.
it is this visual reminder of like
Yeah.
these used to cost less. It's
Yes.
funny.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to the when it will decrease or
Mhm.
level off,
Mhm.
but I feel like the market is there, the demand is there,
Mhm.
the people are, it's a cool thing now,
Yeah.
right? It's like more mainstream, I'll say. All right, I'm gonna last couple questions
Sure.
here. So we know you guys sell shoes,
Mhm.
and I had down here like I would go there and I would get like Tailwind for a little while. So
Yeah.
like what else? Let's go through the product line of like other stuff that you guys sell.
Yeah.
And I think what I've seen over time is that more trail stuff has come into your store than there
Yep.
was when you guys first started. So just tell me kind of like the other stuff you can go to
Yeah.
get there, clothing and
Absolutely.
all
Yep.
that.
Yeah, we have all kinds of like athleisure and technical
Mm-hmm.
clothing. So, I can't speak highly enough about technical running gears. I mean, in the winter, it's important to keep your skin and yourself protected. In
Yep.
the summer, it's important because you're so hot.
Mm.
You'll chafe. It'll feel awful on your skin, and it'll really ruin your run. So I love that stuff. But yeah, socks, insoles, massage. We have plantar fasciitis tools. So like foot roller,
Yep.
massage gun. We've got like Strasbourg socks to kind of help
Mm-hmm.
dorsiflex that foot. Nutrition. We really pride ourselves on having a wide variety of nutrition. Like you said, Carbs is a pretty new brand that
Yeah.
we are carrying. Tailwind is amazing. Morton, all of these things that in nutrition is tricky. You don't know if it works until you try it.
Yeah.
You have to really have a number of runs
Yep.
with this stuff in your body to decide if it's good. Um, and then, yeah, we've got all kinds of accessories. So, like, you said trail stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, some of those vests
Yep.
that you'd see more on trail, but now with ultra running becoming bigger, it's more mainstream. So
Mm-hmm.
those hydration vests, hats, um, and then what else am I thinking of?
So you get jackets, you got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sweats and stuff like you said, leisure, athleisure stuff.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. So really comfy clothes. And then we've got like recovery sandals, UFOs.
Yep.
Those are really, really nice when you've done a good long run. They feel really good on a weekend day, doing your errands or whatever you need to do. So yeah, all kinds of things.
So
That's
quick,
important.
the other thing I think that's really important. I don't know if you mentioned it was socks, but maybe you did. But I'll
Fish
tell you
so.
that
Hmm.
as far as you need a good shoe, socks are a huge
Oh
part
yeah.
of
Oh yeah.
your gear.
Absolutely. I think, yeah,
And
socks
the
and
technology in
shoes.
socks and running gear has come,
Hmm.
like, I'll just tell you my personal experience. I used to run in like basketball shorts and a cotton t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I learned
Yep.
pretty quick that my body adapted to that very quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it bloody pictures and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But the socks as well, right? So
Yeah.
cotton socks versus like,
Oh,
I mean, I Swiftwick
yes.
features.
Hmm.
I mean, the technology in the socks is amazing.
It's amazing. And it makes such
Huge
it's
difference.
such a small change. I know that some of these running socks they are a little bit
Oh
pricier.
yeah,
But I never get a blister unless I'm doing my 50K. I will with that. I'm like, oh, that's fair. It's a long time to be on your feet. But I never get blisters, and it's yeah. If you change that sock, it's gonna really improve your
compression
experience.
stuff too,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yep.
compression
Compression
stuff.
sleeves, CEP is the brand that we
Okay.
use. They're fantastic.
Yep.
I remember in high school, yeah, running in cotton socks,
Yeah.
and the sock would always slip
Oh yeah.
underneath my heel. So
Yeah.
then I'm running with a bunch of cotton
Yeah.
underneath my arch every time, and
Yeah.
I hated it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I never want anyone to have to do
Yeah.
that. Like you need
Right.
a good sock.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's so funny the things we would put up with. I didn't know any better. So
Right.
yeah.
No, I am a big technical gear snob when it comes to like, because the shorts matter to me. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
when I go
Mm-hmm.
and to like a Dick's or wherever, I'm like Nike running shorts or whatever it is. I'm like, they have them now with no liner.
Yeah.
Like most shorts now have
So
no liner,
weird.
and I'm like, well, are you? So you're saying I got to wear a liner on my own,
Right.
and
It's
no
weird.
liner, and I know there's the bikini liner versus the
The
tights.
tights, yep.
Tights to me is the way
Yeah.
of. I mean, those if you I don't know. I don't know how you can sell shorts without a liner, but
Right. I think it's so neat, especially yeah, with the men's shorts. So Vuori will have these, Lululemon has them, some Brooks have them. Yeah, which like that really nice
yeah, yeah, it's almost a
compression, like
compression.
a
Yes,
brief,
100%.
and it's like you can hold
A
your
little pocket.
phone in there, so it's
Yeah,
not bouncing around.
yeah,
I'm like, that's so smart.
yeah,
Those tend to be very popular.
yeah.
But the kids now are wearing chicken legs, so we have chicken leg shorts.
Okay,
Those are like the shorty short ones
I
with like
know.
crazy
3
prints.
inch.
Yeah, two and a
Mm.
half. 3 inch, yeah.
So I made the mistake of trying a 3 inch pair one time in a race, and it was not
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Not
it's
good.
not for me.
I
It's
felt
not for
like it
me.
was more chafing than a seven
Really?
inch.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That
Like if you look at a
sucks.
girl like Courtney Dauwalter, she
Yeah.
wears the down to her
Oh yeah,
knees,
basketball shorts
you know,
practically. Oh yeah.
and she's the best, I'd
She is
say,
the
female
best.
runner.
It's
Oh,
incredible to
oh,
watch
and I have
her.
another question too.
Great.
Okay, and it has to do with female runners.
Great.
Do you know who Emma Bates is?
Yes.
Did you see what happened with
I
her?
heard she got dropped.
That's insane.
Is
I was just talking
is
to like
that
how,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So her sponsor, so Emma Bates is an Olympic marathon runner. She came in third in
Mm-hmm.
like Boston, I think, or Chicago. Big time runner for a female,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
and had a sponsor. UCAN was her sponsor,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
and UCAN, she went and told them that she was pregnant, and they
Mm-hmm.
dropped her. That's
Mm-hmm.
insane.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
think it's a shame. It's a
Yeah,
shame that that happens. I I don't know the rules or how negotiations
yeah.
happen,
Who
but
knows?
you would think that there would be a plan and you should proactively say, we have female athletes. If they get pregnant, this is what we do.
Yeah,
And they should know that ahead of time. And it shouldn't be we drop them.
right.
There should be
Yeah, right,
like, it
right.
should be like,
Yeah,
okay, here, because it is different.
yeah,
Yeah. Like the sponsorship maybe is different if you're, I don't know, but
yeah. Who knows?
it should not be that they get dropped. I don't know why brands
Yeah,
don't communicate that or have a
yeah,
plan for that. It's just a shame. But yeah, I think female runners it's definitely different
yeah,
having sponsorships than male runners. So it's I hope she finds something else or someone else.
yeah.
I
She
hope.
did. She found another sponsor.
Oh good.
It just came out like yesterday, the day before.
Oh good.
But what's funny is I was telling Kyle this morning, I sent UCAN a message. I was like, "Hey, I heard you guys have an opening. Are you looking for or to sponsor?" I can tell you right now, I won't get pregnant.
At the table.
Yeah, totally sarcastic. I was like pissed. I'm like, this is just the stupidest thing I ever heard. Like,
I know.
I don't even know what their, how like you can get canceled nowadays or whatever, but I wonder what it's done to their business since this came
I
out.
mean, lots of people are talking
Oh
about it,
yeah.
and so I would
You guys
assume.
carry that product or no?
We haven't
I
actually.
don't even,
I
I've
don't
never
think
heard of
so.
it.
We've heard, I think they've been
Is it a
wanting.
hydration tablet type thing?
Mm-hmm,
Okay, like a
mm-hmm.
nun or
Or like a
noon or whatever.
mix
Yeah,
too. Yeah, they've got a wide variety.
yeah,
I get like their marketing emails, but yeah, it's definitely people are talking about it
yeah.
and not in a good way. So.
Yeah. All right. I have the last question I have has to
Mm-hmm,
do with marketing and social media.
mm-hmm,
And I mean, Phil does an amazing job, but I haven't seen him do anything recently.
mm-hmm.
Is there a reason behind it? Or
Not not
no?
not necessarily. I think with the two
Oh,
stores,
I
yeah,
bet. I mean, I
he
get it.
struggles to
That's yeah,
find the time. Um, but yeah, I know we need to get some more funny videos
yeah.
out there.
They
I
were
think
awesome. I
yeah,
loved it.
I think the people want it.
I do
So
want it. I want more.
yeah, I agree. I think it would be fun to see. So we'll see. We'll see what this summer has. Maybe
Okay.
we'll
Well,
whip
if he
something
needs
up.
help or encouragement,
Okay.
have him reach out.
Okay, I
I
will.
can push on it
Okay.
because it's the way of the world right
I
now. Social
know.
media is
Absolutely.
if you have a business and you don't have a TikTok or Instagram or a Facebook,
Yeah,
yeah,
how will people know about you?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you guys have social media guidelines from Fleet Feet?
Yes. I mean it's more um like logos and all of that needs to
Has to be in
be
it.
in line. Well, just like the way you're representing the logo needs to be
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, I mean, I know that there are some, but I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
they're not extreme or anything like that. They're kind of common sense practices. So yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
So maybe in recap, like what is currently going on from Fleet Feet Run Club, and
Hmm.
then the race that's next is this run festival,
Hmm.
and then I'm guessing, and I know for a fact it's going to end up being the VIX and the
Hmm.
marathon and all that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
just kind of maybe tell people what that lineup looks like for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yep. So again, yeah, the Quad Cities Running Festival is on Memorial Day, down at the Rust Belt. So that's a half marathon, 5K, and kids race.
And
Um,
then where can they go to your site to get the registration link?
yes. Yep. So if you go to Fleet Feet Davenport, yeah, it'll be scrolling along there, I
Yeah, yeah,
believe.
yeah. Hmm.
I think you'll go to race roster technically to get signed up for that. Um, And then yeah, I mean we always like to celebrate Global Running Day actually, which is
Okay.
usually the first Wednesday in June. And we just try and do that by, I mean, it's probably going to be our Great River Run, which is on Wednesdays, but we're just happy to celebrate that. And usually we'll have a brand come and bring some demo
Yeah.
shoes and maybe buy some drinks for people. And then yeah, you're rolling into, I mean, even the firecracker run.
Yep,
So
that's right.
that's 4th of
Hmm.
July. We like to at least participate in that. My girls have ran that race a few times also. And then we have, yeah, then you roll into the Bix. We are going to be partnering with Hoka with that
Okay.
and hoping to have a really meaningful impact during that race and that whole
Hmm.
week as well. And then yeah, we love Quad Cities Marathon. And then also yeah, um the other Joe Marino run in the first week of August. I can't remember. Army Veterans. It's what is it called?
Oh yeah,
What's wrong with me?
it's not the firecracker, obviously, but
No,
what is it?
Freedom Run.
Freedom Run.
There it
There,
is.
yeah,
There we
that's
go.
right.
That's another one that we like to participate in. And then, yeah, that kind of dovetails into Quad Cities Marathon. It's the
Hmm.
third weekend in September. It's been hot the last few times. I'm usually out on Arsenal Island throwing fireball whiskey
Mm.
shots and Sour Patch Kids at people when they go by with
Yeah,
the DJ, and it's awesome. It's super fun. I just love doing that. No one expects you to have Fireball or Red Bull or candy, and it's just so great to be like,
yeah,
here, I have all these yummy things. You should take
yeah.
them. Because it's really hot and it's really quiet out there on the
That's the
island. So
worst part of the course.
you need some love to get through there. So
Yeah.
that's what we're there for. But yeah, and before we know it, it'll be done. But then and then we're actually in Des Moines. Then the Des Moines Marathon is
Yeah.
in the second weekend in October. And that's going to be fantastic. We're going to partner with Brooks for that, and
And that's
it's a really fun
October.
one. Yeah, so it's the yeah the
Okay.
set usually the second weekend in October. So you can do the Quad Cities half, and then you can go and do the Des Moines full if you
Yeah.
want.
And
Just
I can't remember, like, are they both be Boston qualifiers?
Des Moines, yeah, Des Moines
Des
is.
Moines is.
I
I don't
think
know about
maybe
Quad Cities. I think
yeah,
Quad Cities is, but
I
you know how
think
they
it is.
changed
Yeah,
a lot in the last 4 or 5 years, and
yeah,
then the new change was the
that turn.
elevation.
Oh.
No, 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 not the course.
Oh,
The
okay.
Boston
I know. Oh,
qualifying
yeah, yeah.
times.
Yes. Mhm.
They put in this if the course has more than 1,500 feet of decline
Mhm.
overall,
Mhm.
you have to add 5 minutes to your time.
It's crazy. I can't keep track.
So I don't know
That's
I
can't
don't
keep
even know
track.
what the elevation of the Quad City Marathon is overall.
I
It's
don't
got to have
either.
some in there because of the
Yeah.
bridges and stuff like that, but
Right. I don't know how
I don't
much
think
it
it's got
cancels. It's got to
1,500.
cancel itself
It's
out though,
yeah.
because you go up and
Right,
then you
right,
go
right,
down.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
you're right though. The course, I'm sorry, I didn't mean the course changed for
sure.
the
Oh, yeah, it's all
qualification
good.
change, but you're right. The course changed and it changed for the better, in my opinion.
I think so.
100%.
That's the
I
feedback
think,
that the people
oh,
heard.
I
Yeah, it was
mean,
good.
to have to go 20 miles and then run to East Moline and back
Yeah.
was so bad
Oh yeah, it
because you
was
could
tough.
see the
Oh
finish line.
yeah,
That was the
you
real
were
big,
like, I'm
yeah,
getting away from
right.
the
And that's
finish.
usually where the race starts. If anyone doesn't
Mm-hmm.
ever run a marathon, 20
Mm-hmm.
miles is where the race starts. And
Mm-hmm.
the old way was so now the island becomes the worst part in
Yeah.
terms of you hit mile 20 and you got
Right.
like,
And it is. I mean, that part is always going to suck no
yeah,
matter where it is, but at least it's not quite as
yeah, yeah,
demoralizing as running away from the finish
yeah.
line
Coming
for your
back.
last 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is better. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Before you know
Okay.
it, it'll be fall again.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
And the sponsor for the is it who's the Des Moines? Is it IMT or something like
Yeah,
that?
IMT is an insurance
Yeah.
company
Are they
in
still the it is still
Yep.
IMT?
So yeah, so many people know it as just
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
IMT.
yeah.
That's how it's like referred to.
Yeah.
So yeah, IMT Des Moines Marathon. So
I've
if you
never
ever
done
do
that
want
one,
to,
but I've been there
it's
when it was
nice.
going on.
Yeah, you should check it out.
I should because I'm like Austin and Kurt want to try to qualify for Boston
Oh,
again, and
great. Yeah,
they were gonna do Quad Cities, and I was like, it's hot. Like you said,
it is. It's
I
hot.
mean the some of the best marathons I've ever had where it was like 30 degrees and snowing,
Yep.
and I feel like I don't feel
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
right?
So last year, the Des Moines Marathon was, I mean, I remember Quad Cities was still kind of
Humid,
warm.
very
Yeah, it was
humid.
humid.
Got
It was
warm.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then the Des Moines, it was chilly. I mean,
Okay.
I was cold at the aid station, so that
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
means it's perfect running
Yeah,
weather.
right.
So it actually, those
Yeah.
3 weeks really, you get a better chance to have it cool off. So something to think about for sure if you like colder running temperatures.
Okay.
Oh,
Um, I guess I do have one more question. And I mean, I don't know. So like there's Fleet Feet people and then there's Running Wild people, there's active people.
mhm.
But in terms of the races that you guys partner with and sponsor or like partnerships with, um, do you guys get involved in the trail community at all?
Mm,
Because like I'm training right now for that Loud Thunder
mm,
50 miler and Josh Sun
mm.
is Sun Trail Racing and
Yeah.
and I know Phil has done his races and stuff like that, but I mean I in the beginning of this asked you guys to seem like you're taking on more trail shoes and
Hmm.
into that kind of is there any like part do you guys have any
We don't have
connections?
anything
None right now.
formal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of it is like a capacity thing,
Yeah,
we
I
just
bet.
we are
Yeah, yeah.
a small business, and
Yep.
but we would love to try and help support, yeah, as many trail races as we can.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, sometimes that support maybe would look different at different times during the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Josh does such a great job,
Yeah.
and I know so many people appreciate what he puts on,
Mm-hmm.
and his races are so fun and so
Yeah.
well attended. And so yeah, if there was ever a need, we would love to help. But yeah, between some of these other road races that we already have like
I get
commitments
it. I
to,
get
yeah.
it. It's a schedule. I
Yeah,
totally
we
get it.
Steve is our guy. He's our community and outreach guy, but there is just a capacity
Yep.
level that we have to be. I My staff will laugh when they hear me say this, but I my job is to remind our teams from time to time when it's necessary that we are, unfortunately and fortunately, we are not an event
Yeah,
production
yeah.
company. We are a
A
retail
retail.
store,
Right.
because
Yep.
it's so fun, and we just want, because the more successful events are, the more people are running, and the more that people are running, the better our community is, and like we really believe that. Um, but yeah, we
Yeah.
have
No, I just was
so
just
much
wondering.
time. Yeah, that's a great question. It certainly is. It would be great to partner with them in some way if they needed it, but right now we don't have anything official, but we'd love to help if we
Yeah.
can. But we also have to be careful with our
Yeah, yeah.
time as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you doing this. I
Yeah.
think that it's really cool that you guys have built this great, it's a brand.
Mm,
But you are the brand, right? Like it could be Fleet Feet, anything, but it's you and Phil and all your employees that make it.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like every time I go in there, it is an opening, like welcome type community.
Good. I'm so
So,
glad. Yeah.
but
Thank
thank you
you
for
so
doing
much.
this.
Yeah, this
I
was
really
so
appreciate
fun.
it.
Yeah, this is great.